Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really narrowing our focus. We're unpacking just one specific source. It's an article from The Guardian, and it's dated June 16th, 2025.
Okay.
The headline itself reports a missile strike on Tel Aviv and Haifa.
Right.
So our mission today is simply to pull out the key details as presented in this single source about this specific reported event.
Yeah.
And, see how the article itself frames it, the context it provides.
And that focus is really important here. It's deliberately narrow.
Exactly.
We are looking strictly only at what this particular Guardian article says from that date, June 16th, 2025, about this one reported event, the strike on Tel Aviv and Haifa. We're not bringing in anything else. You know,
no outside info?
no opinions, no taking sides, just what does the report itself say?
Okay, great. So let's dive in. What does this source actually tell us? Well, the title, like you said, it grabs you.
Yeah.
Tel Aviv and Haifa missile strike, June 16th, 2025. And it immediately places it, frames it within the Israel-Iran conflict.
Yeah, right there in the title.
So the sort of core reported fact, just from this source, is pretty clear. On this date, a missile strike reportedly hit these two major Israeli cities.
Yeah, and what kind of stands out, just reading the source's description, is that immediate scope it reports.
How so?
Well, a strike reaching both Tel Aviv and Haifa, geographically separate places.
Ah, right.
So based purely on what this source is reporting, that detail alone suggests something about the reach or maybe the capability involved, as described by The Guardian, of course.
That's a really crucial point, and it comes straight from the source's own content, doesn't it? It's not just a strike somewhere, but one reported as hitting two pretty significant and, like you said, separate population centers.
Yeah.
So that specific details reported, it paints a particular picture of the event scale. Again, according to this source.
Exactly. And then there's that framing the source uses right from the headline.
The conflict framing.
Yes, explicitly linking the reported event to the Israel-Iran conflict. That shows how The Guardian is sort of positioning this reported strike for its readers. It's not presented in isolation, but as a direct result or maybe a part of that bigger ongoing tension. That's the narrative presented in their report.
Right. So the source uses that specific framework to give immediate context to the reported event. So based only on this one article, what you learn is June 16, 2025, missile strike reportedly hits both Tel Aviv and Haifa. And The Guardian presented this event as, well, part of the Israel-Iran conflict. It's like the specific snapshot from this source about the situation described on that day.
And understanding specific reports like this one, just as they're presented in a source, it helps you piece together how these larger geopolitical situations are being described, maybe as they happen.
Right, how the narrative is built source by source.
Exactly. This article gives you one particular data point, you could say, one reported event, framed in one specific way by this publication.
So just to quickly recap then, this deep dive, it focused squarely on this Guardian article from June 16, 2025. We analyzed its report of a missile strike on Tel Aviv and Haifa.
Yeah.
And specifically how it was described within that Israel-Iran conflict framework, the framework provided by the source itself.
Exactly. So maybe something for you to think about. Based purely on this single report, just the description of a strike reaching both Tel Aviv and Haifa. What does that specific detail, as reported here, make you consider about the, let's say, immediate volatility of the situation as described by this source?